Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about keyword research. So we've just onboarded a client, we're going through a bit of an audit, and technically, after passing the audit and actually providing the recommendations, you want to start carrying out keyword research, especially because one of the growth optimizations you should be making for any startup or any business that's growing is you should ensure that there's always going to be that sort of organic traffic coming in to the business. So there should be inbound traffic that's organic coming from these search engines, right? And that's why we carry out keyword research. So the first is that you should be making a habit of actually speaking to the clients and analyzing exactly what they've provided you with, right? So analyzing existing content, looking at their website, looking at getting some information by speaking to the sales team and coming up with these key terms. And actually, once you've got these key terms, you can then start to like sort of expand on that list. And rather than starting from scratch, it's always easier to find the most common industry relevant terms, right? So those like marketable terms or those terms that are used for the technical product. And you can straight away you can make the associations between different pillar pages and topic clusters, either used by competitors or yourself. So where do you start? So I've asked the client for a list, and let's say I get a list here. Let's say we've got like a just some keywords which we can definitely expand on. Let's say like it was 3 to 5 keywords, and all I did was take the 3 to 5 keywords, and the first place I'd go to is the keyword planner, right? And the reason why I say that is because let's say, for example, I want to search for some of the terms that they provided me with. So let's go with carbonization. I want to put this location as the United States. Currently, it's on the United Kingdom because of my account. And you've got like things like, let's say, warehouse management system. You want to go with pick pick and pack, or you want to go with like WMS, like acronyms, right? Let's say you want to do that. You want to actually expand on the list with some of the keywords that you've already been provided, and you want to literally grab the results, right? And what you do is there we go. So we found a lot of keywords here, and there's a bunch actually. And what you want to do is you want to start to apply some filters, right? So you can choose to apply all the filters here, or you can do it outside, right? Usually, I'll try and remove any brands. So I'm going to get rid of any brands over here. Non-brands are fine, but I don't want any brands like coming up with I don't want any terms coming up with these specific brands. So I'm going to actually go ahead and select that, which is fine, right? Close that. We're down to 524. Now, what I want to do is you want to go for, I would actually go ahead and clean up the list after exporting it. So what I would do is export the entire list. And if I have some modifiers, I'd actually go ahead and what's called narrow those terms down. So maybe I want to avoid software. Maybe I want to avoid, let's see what else I can find. Maybe I want to avoid something like Odoo. I don't really want to be talking about that WMS or anything like that. So you can start to like filter these out, right? So you can go ahead here and just start adding filters, keywords, does not contain or contain. So if it contains Odoo, then and I'm going to do a semantic match because I want anything to do with it. Oh, it said anything does not contain, and it will exclude anything to do with Odoo, right? Which is great. And then what I want to do is essentially go ahead and export the list. And once you've done this, what you want to be doing is you want to have a tool like keyword research tool, just like SEMrush, which I usually tend to do. And let's say I want to go ahead and just take a bunch of keywords, and I'm going to go to my SEMrush tool, go to the keyword manager, and find, let's say it's like client name, and we'll call it the temp. We'll call it the temp list of initial research or something. Initial spelling's taking a hit. Research 2, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create. You can see that there's an initial research list here, like box packing software, warehouse carton, things like that, and I would expand on that list, right? Otherwise, just go to here, add my keywords and paste, boom. I would have cleaned the list with what I've actually learned about the industry. So I would, and the product itself and what they're actually offering, so that you can actually go ahead and start to remove some of the keywords. So you're not left with much fluff, I would say. But I would actually paste them in here and see what the metrics is like, because what I'm going to do is take this list later and I'm going to paste it into an essentially a template like this, like a keyword research master is what I call it. So I have a template for this, and you'd paste it into a keyword research master. And this is where you would do a lot of the analysis right after you've compiled a lot of the list. So what I would do is I'll compile excuse me, I'll compile keywords based off the expansion of the initial core keyword list I got given by the client. I would actually go ahead and alternatively use some other strategies as well, which I'll go into in separate videos. But for now, let's focus on this initial strategy, right? This is one way of carrying out some keyword research, especially initial keyword research. And what's interesting is a lot of these keyword tools are actually pulling from the keyword planner in the first place, because it's in an official area. Google, a lot of the search traffic, I believe over 60% of traffic comes from of searches come from Google as well. So if you think about it like that, it's a ridiculous amount of market share that Google own in terms of essentially disseminating some information right to the entire public. So you want to be using a tool like this to your advantage. And the reason why I would rip this list excuse me, rip this list off the Google Keyword Planner is because Google tends to sort of not give you any accurate numbers unless you're spending money on the platform. So if you were to use this as a keyword research tool, fine. But make sure you got like a small campaign going, and you're spending a bit of money. That way it unlocks the feature where you can get the actual results, right? Because what Google will do is it will withhold or give you some crazy inflated or deflated numbers that don't make much sense. Also, the reason why I would go through this particular route to expanding the keywords is because PPC, right? When you're going after PPC keywords, just note that there's with any PPC campaigns, you're going after high intent keywords initially. So if you can understand how people are bidding on these keywords, and if you know that there's keywords that people are bidding much higher on opposed to others, you know where the intent is, where you know what to avoid, right? And this gives you that great like sort of indicator if you want to go over high intent, if you want to go for high intent keywords first, which I would recommend. Always, I would recommend setting up SEO campaigns so you don't have to spend a certain amount of budget on PPC keywords over a long term. You want to be actually getting a traffic value increase over time with your SEO efforts, so you can over time decrease your PPC budget that you actually have allocated. There are going to be some competitive terms that you have to spend PPC, have to have a BPC budget for, and that's totally fine. But for the ones you can actually rank for, you want to be using an SEO strategy to actually deal with getting organic traffic from those particular keywords. So that's why we take this list, and we rip the list, going back to that point, so that we can put it into our actual SEO tool, and we can get the raw, like we can actually get the raw numbers right there, right? We can see the CPCs, like really high intent from some of these keywords like TMS, so transport management system, warehouse management system, ERP, warehouse order management system. These are like some terms that people are actually bidding on, right? So these are the more software terms. So what if we could use these high intent keywords to almost reverse engineer some topics, right? So when we talk about how, maybe we want to talk about how this tool integrates with warehouse management systems or transportation management systems. So you'll start to find out these patterns and find out the links between, hey, well, what sort of keywords are quite common? What can I actually go ahead and expand on further? And this is what you do, right? It's almost like a rinse and repeat method. You carry out all your keyword analysis initially, narrow things down, use filters to prioritize. I would usually go ahead and say, hey, well, let's go ahead and let me get everything that's above, from anything from 0 to 60. Let's say we don't have a high domain authority. We're going to rank for something that's above 10. And we want to prioritize things that's probably getting more than what's the highest volume here that we got, because it's quite okay. So let's say you want to go for volume higher than 500 initially to prioritize. You can see there's 7 keywords. Well, let me go and expand on this. So later, what I would do is I would start building out my keyword lists using a keyword magic tool and say, hey, well, warehouse management is one area that we really want to talk about, because it's closely linked to our topic, and so is picking and packing. So what I'll do is I'll go to the keyword magic tool, and I'm gonna go ahead and type in warehouse management system, right? And you're gonna see a bunch of keywords come up. So 1,000, and this is where you can start to find out all the questions, the common questions being asked. Look, there's 98 common questions. If I want everything above the volume of 10, because questions are gonna slowly sort of creep into the long tail area, you want to go ahead and narrow down your keywords in terms of volume as well. And again, you want to go after anything that ranks easy. Then, in terms of prioritization, I would actually use things like the CPC, right? So look at how much people are bidding. If you can look at, so if someone's bidding on what is the best warehouse management system, maybe you have a comparison chart because you obviously integrate with these warehouse management systems. And so you want to actually provide your users with the best one that they can actually use, or the best ones in our opinion, you know? Um, so you might want to create a guide or something like that in a blog format, and you want to try pull traffic in. So there's a bunch of things you can do, like looking at the actual ranking for a lot of these excuse me, a lot of these uh, against the people that are ranking for that term. And then you can start to prioritize. But essentially, you can see how I'm building out the keyword list, right? And what I would do is I would then start to, this would have been done by me creating a new list. I would call it by, let's say, the person that we're taking as an example, and it would be like warehouse management, right? That's a topic cluster or a pillar page I really want to rank for. And then so I'm going to go here and I'm going to go back to warehouse management system. And you want to go back here and you want to say, hey, well, based on that, I want to actually go ahead and add some of these keywords. So after you've applied your filters, let's go phrase match. Let's go anything above 500. There's nothing above 500. So you want to do anything at 60. Probably going to be nothing there except for a few terms. Okay, 5 terms. So say I want to add all this and I want to add it to the keyword manager, and I'm going to put it in accurate warehouse management, right? And this is you building lists. So what you do is you're essentially naming your topic clusters or your pillar pages, sorry, with different sub keywords or subtopics. Those would be like your topic clusters, and around that you would be answering a bunch of questions that are quite common, that are related to your business, related to your product or service, and then you would go ahead and execute on a and deliver a particular SEO campaign. So let's rank an X amount of terms. Let's say the top 10 terms for the first 3 months or the first month, depending on how quick you think you can rank for these. I'll go into more depth on these tutorials. I'll show you some alternative ways to actually carry out some keyword research, but this is one initial way, right? And essentially what I'm doing is I'm building out this list, right? And I am going to then export the list and paste everything here. So we go export all, let's go CSV. Let's open up the CSV. Let's grab these keywords, and I'm going to go to my sheet, and they've got topic clusters here, but I'm going to go here and just boom. Here we go. Keywords here, seed keywords here. So we know what we typed in, where it came from. We've got, then what you want to do is, based on the metrics, you want to paste over the metrics. There we go. And so I want to look at, normally you would have things like recurring keywords or variations, and you want to filter out those. So you want to basically grab a topic cluster, so like warehouse management system, or best warehouse management systems or whatever. And let's say you've got that, you want to go ahead and find out essentially you're picking between the most common ones, right? So you want to say, hey, well, if I've got how to choose a warehouse management system, and I've got what is the best warehouse management system, and I've got, um, let's say there was a how to choose a warehouse management system, and then it says what is the best warehouse management system to choose, right? What you would do is you would look at the way I would look at it is which one's easier to rank for, and how much volume do they bring in. But what I really want to look at is the value, the CPC value. I would rather go and rank for this term initially, right? What is the best one? Prioritize this content, and I'll say that this has a business impact of two. It's not directly related to our product, but it's directly related to our space and what we talk about in terms of integrations. Therefore, I will say it's a business impact of two. And you wouldn't say that this one's, for example, a two as well. This one might be a two. This one might be a one. This one might be a one. And then what you want to do is you'll have some threes as well. Three is the highest impact. This is all done manually, hence the greenfield. But once you've done that, you want to actually go ahead and prioritize a bunch of these things. So let's say you'd sort from high to low, and then you'd go ahead and have a selected column. So which ones are actually in campaign, right, for you? And you would do that essentially by looking at the metrics, prioritizing them in terms of their business impact score. So how impactful are they to your business? And then you would go ahead and pre-select them. These are some if you need some more prioritization material, um, this this column here, like SERP rank or modifier or keyword type, they actually help you understand. For example, keyword type. Let's go backwards. With keyword type, will help you understand. Hey, well, I want to go over. Looks like what looks like the business goal is that we're not getting any. The marketing goal is that we're not getting any traffic at the moment. Therefore, we need to look for the informational terms. So you know the keyword type is looked at in a funnel. So informational, navigational, commercial, and then transactional at the very bottom. So you can imagine awareness to conversion, right? Same the in as relevant as that is to the funnel. And so what you want to do is you want to assign them to each keyword, and you say, hey, I want to just go after informational terms so far, or I want to build up the campaign so that it's informational first, leading, and then we want to link into a commercial, maybe a comparison, like what is the best warehouse management, right? So if I was selling that, then this is the way I would do that, right? So I'd say, hey, how to choose one. This is a commercial term essentially because you're comparing. They're in a compare. They're looking to buy maybe, but they're in a comparison phase, right? So what is the best? Something like what is informational, right? Someone's looking for the material, yes, but they're trying to find out what it is first. They may be just looking for the information. They may be interested, but you know that you can then start to use like linking and other SEO best practices to drive users from a particular page that you've used as the higher volume informational pages to bring people to the website and drive them to these more transactional driven pages, right? And moving back from that, uh, I'm going to show you how you can actually go ahead and filter down more keywords, but using modifiers, right? So, of course, I've shown you how to do it without modifiers, so just using filters. And then next in the tutorial, I'll show you how to do it with modifiers. So I appreciate this is a bit of a long one. Kind of just wanted to explain how you would use this entire process. And what I will do is in the future in a future tutorial, when I show you how to like sort of grab the keywords, I'll show you how to use this keyword master sheet, right? And how I actually use it, because it's super helpful with keeping things managed, and you don't have to keep jumping back onto the tool to always understand, hey, well, this is what we're going after, and anything like that. You can just strictly use it to paste and prioritize your keywords into your position tracking monitoring, which we can go into later, but it helps you understand how you're ranking for those particular terms. I hope this, I guess, longish tutorial helped on initial keyword research using core keywords taken from interviews and initial interactions with the client. And I hope that this helps in moving your keyword research forward. So if you did like this video, please don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And if you have any questions or anything, just comment them below. I'm happy to answer them, and the team's definitely happy to answer them. So, yeah, hope you enjoy the tutorial and take it easy. See you soon.